everybody. We're here at the Van Show talking to my friend, Andrew Clements. Say hi, Andrew.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Van. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Where do you live, Andrew?
I actually live in the state of Maine, quite a ways from here.
Wow, that's pretty far north, isn't it?
It is. There's still some snow on the ground here in the middle of April.
Wow. Well, now, so you are an author. What got you interested in writing?
I think I got interested in writing the way almost every writer I've ever met got interested in it, and that's by reading good books.
Yeah.
You read good books, and it made me, every once in a while I'd be reading a book or a story or a poem that was really good, and I get to the end and I'd say, I wish I could write something like this. And I think that's the way a lot of writers start out. They read something they really love, and part of them wants to make something sort of like that.
Wow. And so did you start at a young age?
No, I really didn't. I really was not interested in trying to write myself, but I loved reading, and I read so many books. But I had one high school teacher, a woman named Bernice Rappel, who was a great big, tall, scary, red-headed lady. But she was so smart, and she taught me how to read in ways that I hadn't read before, and she made me think about the authors. She said, now when you read this paragraph, really think about why the author chose these words and how come the paragraph ends here instead of there. And it really, plus I had to do a writing assignment. When I turned it in, she gave me an A+ on it. And it was a long poem that I'd written. And at the bottom of it, in this big scrawly red handwriting, she wrote an A+, and then, Andrew, this poem is so funny, this should be published. And this was the first time anybody, except my mom, who always thought I was a good writer.
Of course.
But, moms, sometimes, moms will say anything if it helps them, if it will help their children feel better.
Well, of course.
But when Mrs. Rappel told me I was a good writer, I believed her. And it made me think of myself as a writer. And that happened just before I went to college.
Wow.
So then I started working on writing. Not all the time, but when I felt like it. And I would get inspired with an interesting idea and I'd write a poem. Usually wrote short things. I learned how to play the guitar and I started writing songs, which are also short. And it wasn't until many years later that I actually tried to write something longer. And the first book that I ever wrote that was long was Frindle.
Oh,
and that was published 21 years ago.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I've read that book.
Have you?
Yeah, it's
well,
great.
I'm so glad. Did you like it, Van?
I loved it.
I'm glad.
It deserved all the awards it got.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So that was the first one. So now you've got this book here.
Yes, this book is called The Losers Club.
So how many books is that now?
Oh gosh, Van, that's a hard question.
Is a lot the answer?
Well, it's more than 70. It might be more than 80.
Wow.
Some of the books are very short because I love writing short things. I've written a lot of picture books, and a lot of them are novels, though.
You wrote 70 books.
Yeah, it's a lot of books.
That is a lot of books.
But I always tell people, and especially kids, because they say, "Oh, nobody, how could you ever write that many books?" And I answer so simple: they all got written one word at a time. Just like when you're writing a thank you note to your Aunt Martha Louise for that itchy blue sweater that she sent you for Christmas.
Yeah.
You start off, "Dear Aunt Martha Louise, thank you for the beautiful blue sweater." It's all one word at a time.
Yeah.
And if you keep at it long enough, books can happen.
Very cool. And so this book happened.
This book happened.
70
yes.
books later, here we are.
Here we are. In a world where books are the most important thing to a young boy, he discovers that if he spends all his time reading, he gets in trouble at school.
Uh-oh.
Because reading is a wonderful thing, but not when it's art class time, not when it's music class time, not when it's time to be doing math. So that's the story of this book.
Oh.
Alex Spencer has got to learn that books are wonderful, but life is pretty good too, real life. And he has to learn that books and real life go together very beautifully, and that they're not fighting against each other, which is where we are. In the very first page in this story, Alec is sitting on a chair outside the principal's office because he has been caught again reading when he wasn't supposed to be reading in school. The title of the story, The Losers Club, happens because he starts a reading club, but he doesn't want people to join it because he wants to be alone and read because he loves books and reading so much. So he calls it The Losers Club.
Hoping no one will join.
Hoping no one else will join. But of course, that's not what happens. Other things happen in the story.
Of course. Well, that's excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.